almost there. No way. What is this? You're tuned in to the Eyes Open podcast, where secrets aren't safe and we see it all.
It used to be a big thing that was talked about, but nowadays it seems like a lot of people don't even know what it is. And that's why I figured, what better thing to talk about for episode 201 than Agenda 21. So a lot of people what's weird is just now starting to even talk about this, because you have the 2030 agenda, a lot of people know and talk about, but Agenda 21, even it's been around longer. It happened in the 90s. It's absolutely something real. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is something that the leaders of the world, met. George Bush signed it. Everybody got on board with this agenda. Now, to give you a quick rundown idea of what is Agenda 21. So Agenda 21 is a bunch of billionaires and elitists of the world telling you that living in the suburbs, driving your subcompact car and living your normal suburban everyday life is a detriment to the ecosystem in the world. Okay? You're the problem. Not them flying around on their big expensive jets and having their super yachts. We live in a very special time, ladies and gentlemen, very special time. You have the Leonardo DiCaprios of the world and the Greta Thunbergs, but which is absolutely hilarious, because Leonardo DiCaprio goes to these summits and whatever, and he speaks about climate change while he sends his jet to pick up his hairdresser in Australia. His hairdresser. He sends a private jet. You can imagine what that did to the what do they call it? The ozone layer. You can imagine what that damage that did compared to what you do for the rest of your life. For those that don't fly on private jets, for those of us that technically aren't flying all the time. I know for some people, for their jobs, they have to, fly to different states or across the country. Some people traveling every day for work. But these people who are sending private jets just to pick up their damn hairdresser, and that's a true story, as crazy as that sounds, that's an absolutely true story. He sent a private jet for something that trivial for an award show he was going to. But they're going to tell you that you drive in your shit box every day to work just to scrape to get by is the problem. But it's becoming more and more the sense of, and I don't know how people could actually be on board with this, but trust me, there's a lot of brain dead people out there that go totally along with this. Oh yeah, we got to stop eating meat, and we got to not drive cars that have that burn fossil fuels and all this type of garbage. They don't even understand basic things like a volcano is worse when it erupts, and they happen all the time. It does more damage, to the ozone layer than the amount all of these people, in different countries could do even slightly. And because they're feeding you this idea that we're overpopulated. The only thing I'll give Elon Musk is he actually is the only one that's telling the truth when it comes to this. We're not only not overpopulated, we are underpopulated. Okay, we have a population crisis right now. So while they're telling you there's too many of us, we're doing too much damage to the environment, they're actually, it's the opposite. There's not enough people being born because of the bullshit that they're pushing onto you people. Think about it. You have OnlyFans and all this type of stuff that's giving women an unrealistic expectation of what men want and how they can make easy money just by showing their body online. It's making it to where they don't want a regular guy. They don't want the nuclear family. They don't want what we've all grown up on, that our grandmas and grandpas and, you know, they all lived. And see, that's what it is. It's destroying the idea of what we all know as America, as family, as what we've built. They've systematically destroyed it right in front of our faces, and people don't even realize it. The family unit as we know it is cooked. It's destroyed. It's gone. I'm happy I at least have it. Okay, I have a God-fearing woman that I've been with for a very long time now, going on close to 2 decades, and she does what a good biblical woman would do. She backs me up. And that's what women should do. They should back their man up. But they say, oh, well, you know what? I can't let a man lead because, you know, he doesn't, you know, show the traits of being a leader. Well, maybe because you don't allow him to be. I mean, when I first met with my wife, we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, but she allowed me to lead us in the direction we were going. So I don't think people just don't, they want instant gratification nowadays. And they've exploited that. What's wild is a lot of people don't know is look into every single big corporation who they're owned by that's destroying us. From the pornography to, I mean, you name it. Look into all the media brands and everything. They're all owned, okay, by a group of people that have a J in front of their name. Okay? And I don't care what anybody says about it. It's just the truth. You guys don't see something a little strange about that? I think it's strange for any group of people to just have total control over you know, a lot of aspects of our life, because people don't realize, all these people back in the day that waged war, they knew the power of propaganda. That's why they try to stop independent journalists like myself. They know the power of influence, of people that can talk against their system or talk for their system. So that's why they hire all these talking heads. A lot of these people you guys watch on the regular, and you don't even realize that they're here to either distract you or they're here to feed that corporate, you know, machine. That I got to be careful what I say here, because the last video, yeah, I posted about it on my page. I said, Facebook actually restored a video I made about the German painter because I disputed it. And I said, look, I'm just reporting here. I'm not, you know, asking for harm on nobody or saying to harm anybody or even, you know, presenting anything as 100% fact. I'm simply just reporting on it. Is that where we're at now? That even reporting on these types of things makes you an enemy of the state? It's pretty wild to think that's where we are at. But that's what it is. It's all to destroy society. That's what it is. It was like when the episode I made, their way is decay. That's what it is. That's how they're going to rule everything, is by breaking everything down. That's how these agendas are going to work. That's how they will go through without a hitch. There'll be no issue, because they've systematically destroyed everything. They want to make your men into women. Okay. They want to make your women into men. They want people to be overworked, starving, barely scraping by, because you're so preoccupied with barely scraping by that you can't put up a fight. That's what they're doing. That's the road they're leading everybody down. So they're just weakening our society from all angles. So of course, agendas like this will go through without a hitch. But when I really look into this agenda and the specifics and everything, it's wild to know people like myself are more targeted than anybody. If you live off on land out in farm country, if you can live off the land, like if everything shut down right now and there was no food in the stores and people were screwed in a sense, there was a blackout, any of that type of stuff happens, me and my family will be fine. It'll be a harder way of living, but I'll survive. I can live off the land. I know how to. So they want essentially what this whole agenda is about. They want to pack you all. That's why they say you will own nothing and be happy. They don't want you to own anything. If you are self-sufficient, you are the enemy as far as Agenda 21 goes. I mean, and like I said, the wild thing is I talk about a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of stuff that isn't substantiated, a lot of it's opinion based, but I don't have to say what it is. It says it right in it. You can go get the actual Agenda 21 booklet. It'll tell you exact, and these are what all of your world leaders signed off on. That's how you know war is bullshit. It's another form of scaring you people, because what it really is they're all in bed together. They haven't broke the Antarctic Treaty. They seem to all agree on lockdowns when they happen, and on Agenda 21 and all this other stuff, they seem to agree on that just fine, because they want you guys to think that they're working against each other. No, they're not fighting amongst each other. They're working amongst each other to keep you all enslaved. It's a hard pill to swallow for some people, but it really, in my opinion, is what's going on based off the preponderance of evidence. That's all I can do is look based on what I see. And the wild thing is, people will say this, like I find this interesting. They'll listen to a talking head online on the media, and all of a sudden they believe something to be fact. But if you post a video of an eyewitness, okay, seeing something, and you're like, you know what, they sound like they're really explaining something. You know, if you can read somebody and tell when they're pretty much lying or putting something on, or they're just a good actor. But it seems like these people, you know, are not telling you the truth. These journalists that work for the big corporation stuff, you'll listen to them quicker than you'd listen to your neighbor or somebody who's on the news or goes online and says, hey, I seen this or I seen that. You know, eyewitness accounts hold up in a court of law. Okay, they're still something that can be trusted somewhat if you consider the source. But it's like, I just find that fascinating that people will listen to a talking head on the media where these people went to school for communications. These people learn the ability to manipulate you. But when somebody else tells you it that, you know, doesn't have that motive, you don't want to listen to them. It's wild. But as I had said, so think about how it's not the fact of will this agenda work to put people in smart cities stacked on top of each other, and you will 100% rely on the government. Oh, and for some people that are completely brain rot, they'll love it. They'll live in their little smart stacked apartment that's free. That'll be another way they get you to, oh, free living. Oh man, I'm all for it. People gladly live in those smart cities. A lot of people, because they just don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. And it's a double-edged sword here, though, because see, here's the thing is what I really believe. But you know, it's not about the fact of people don't want to work, because I wish I could go back to the old days of literally just living off the land. What they're threatening could happen, or what I talk about, like, oh, a blackouts could happen or whatever. Man, if we went back to the 1800s way of living, I'd be completely happy with that. I'd rather live like that, to be honest with you. So don't threaten me with a good time. That doesn't scare me, thinking that, oh, we're going to go back to the Stone Age. Well, I guess I'll live out in the middle of nowhere and just enjoy living like Little House on the Prairie, because I would have no issue with that. But the thing is, that's why I'm saying is I don't think people should have to go slave away just to put food on the table and to do all that. But here's the thing is, do you consider somebody who has to go out and literally bring home the bacon? You know, that's where the saying comes from. When you literally have to go home and bring home the bacon and feed your family, that's work. Okay, so you have to work regardless. Even if you lived off the land, you have to get out there and get it. You have to, know how to preserve food. You have to catch it, you trap it, fish for it, all kinds of things. So it's your job as a man to get out there and do that. So even for anybody, that's why it's funny. People are like, they'll came out to my property before and they're like, oh man, you got a beautiful piece of property. It's so nice. Like they think it's you're lucky. Like, lucky. Do you know back when I even had animals like my horses and stuff, you have any freaking clue how much work it is to take care of animals, to take care of acreage? It's just to take care of these houses and the upkeep and all this stuff. It's expensive. And it's a lot of work. You have to take sometimes days on end just to do simple tasks. It's not easy. So people have, that's just my point though. People think that there's some utopian society where nobody has to do anything and everything's just provided for you. No, that's what they're trying to get you to believe. But that utopian society does not exist. Okay, either way, you got to work. You have to do something. I mean, even what I'm doing right here with my show. Do you guys think this is all I do? I have a lot of stuff I have to do. People look at business owners and they say, oh man, you're lucky. You own the business. Shit. Do you know how much work it is to be a successful business owner? You're working from sun up till sundown. You're up doing paperwork sometimes at midnight. That's what it took me. So I was able to become more financially independent because I worked from the age of 25 to 34 nonstop. Like, I'm talking, my brain did not switch off until I went to bed. And as soon as I got up, it switched back on. And my working hours was like 7 to 7. So I worked 12-hour days every single day. Even if it wasn't physical labor, trust me, physical labor, I've done them both. I started out in physical labor. Physical labor, honestly, is more rewarding that people don't realize. You come home, I'd come home back in the day, man, all dirtied up and crap, and I'd sit down, I'd drink a beer, and it was relaxing. I'd go take a shower, I lay down, I'd sleep like a baby. You come home after dealing with work and business, and you're the business owner, it's stressful. Like, you're sitting there like, oh man, I got to take care of this, and then I got to take care of that, and then you got this and that, and all types of stuff you have to take care of. So your brain is constantly moving. Brain burnout is way worse than physical burnout. I'm trying to tell you guys, you can recover from physical burnout. Mental burnout, some people never come back from that. And that's one of the biggest things is it's not just people are dealing with two senses of burnout right now. They're dealing with physical burnout and mental burnout because they're like, I'm working twice as hard for less money, because it's less money because you're not getting paid anymore, but everything's going up. So know this, it is not because they don't have the answers. It's because they're systematically doing it to the world and to people because they want to wear people out. Once they wear you out and wear you down, being on their grid, accepting their little check that they'll cut you, being their little slave to the system, saying, please, Mr. Government man, please take care of me. It's like Reagan said, when they tell you, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you, you need to run from that as fast as you can. But some people run to it. I mean, they like being dependent on the government and stuff like that. I'm for more independence. And see, even with another thing with Agenda 21, they want to take away your right to your property, okay, to private property, which the forefathers like George Washington and John Adams and lots of people spoke about how important, one of the top important things is your right to private property. But they want to take that over as well. And here's the thing is, if you think they're not taking it over and it's already not happening right in front of your face, what's happening to the people that never wanted these data centers that are living right by them? I mean, with the heat waves we've been having, What do you think's happening with these data centers? How do you think they're cooling them down? They're taking your water. So that's what it is. It's it's the epitome of socialism leading into horribly bad communism. And we know where that road goes. They're saying we are going to take your resources to redistribute in whatever way we see fit for the betterment of society. And it's the biggest crock of crap that I've ever heard of in my life. It's not, some oops, we made a mistake shit. It's part of it. That's why it's best name for it, an Agenda 21. It is an agenda to put a stranglehold on all of the resources and completely control every aspect of your life. The question is this, ultimately, what are we going to do about it?